So wait, people really thought that African Americans were immigrants? Yeah, I know y'all lying.
When I see people making comments and videos saying, oh, black people, referring to black Americans, don't get comfortable because you all are next, they're coming for you next. It's like,
the reason why y'all want black Americans to be affected by ICE so bad is because y'all are still convinced that we are immigrants, and we are not. We are not. We've been here for over 400 years, and for most of us, our ancestors have been here even before the slave trade. Most of us have American indigenous lineage that we can actually trace because a lot of our families were reclassified from Indian to Negro. And there's proof that we were reclassified. We are not immigrants. They can't send us back nowhere. Where they going to send me back? North Carolina? South Carolina? Georgia? Florida? That's the only place that we can go. We're not immigrants. This is not our battle. Furthermore, most of the people who are now being deported, or most of the people that are immigrants here, have always had a stigma against black Americans. We're lazy, we're dirty, we're ghetto, we're loud, we're uneducated, we're this and we're that. But now that ICE is outside, we're supposed to be on the front lines of the same people who come here with these mentalities about us and don't even know us. I don't understand that. This is not our battle.
What do you mean y'all thought we were immigrants? Y'all thought black people, black Americans, African Americans, blacks, us, were immigrants. The hardest lessons, clearly, it's going to take me a long time to learn and figure out is that other people just don't know what I know. I assume that a lot of people know what I know. That's why y'all keep saying that, huh? That makes sense, I guess. That we're next. Y'all think, what?
So now people are trying to say that black Americans are immigrants. Black Americans are the only people in the US besides Native Americans that are not considered immigrants. Europeans, Asians, Latinos all came here to the United States voluntarily, whereas black Americans came here by force. In order to be considered an immigrant, you have to take action and moving to another country. Black Americans did not take action, we were forced. That's why we call ourselves foundational black Americans, right next to Native Americans.
For Juneteenth, I need y'all to learn that black Americans are not immigrants. You're not an immigrant when you are dragged across the globe against your will to be worked and bred and tortured by the very people who stole the land upon which you were dragged to, okay? We didn't choose to vacation here. We didn't choose to flee here. We didn't choose any of this. That's the difference. A lot of y'all are immigrants, and God bless you for it, but that will never be black Americans. We were forced to build up the places that a lot of your ancestors immigrated to, and to this day didn't get a stake in any of that. So before y'all run your mouths about black Americans and our history in this country, make sure you're not spewing out garbage first. Because immigrants made this country what it is, but we are the building blocks.
It is kind of jacked up to find out that, people around the globe thought that African Americans were immigrants. That's pretty jacked up. Like, all this time y'all thought we were immigrants? I don't understand even why people would think that, because here you have the whole Caribbean, the whole South America, and then we have North America right here. And you would think that, everybody else is cool. You know what I'm saying? Jamaicans are Jamaicans, Haitians are Haitians, you know what I'm saying? Why on earth would people think that we are immigrants when we got over here before the founding of the country? Why in the world would people think that we're immigrants? African Americans, I mean. Okay? That is so weird. Like, and to see how it actually affected how they voted. I mean, this really opened up a can of worms right here.
It seems like other, deeply melanated black people are really, really fucking upset that black American citizens exist. Like, ones that were actually born here, that have a lineage here. Like, I keep seeing videos of them saying, oh, you're next. And shouts out to Leo. I saw his video where he was responding to, I'm guessing she was a Caribbean, saying, your president doesn't like you. Y'all gonna be back picking cotton. He was gonna get y'all out of here next. And it's like, he literally said that we built this country. He literally said that the birthright citizenship was for the descendants of slaves. Chattel slavery. Y'all are so butthurt that we cannot be deported. Then they were like, oh, because when it's time for y'all to get out of here, y'all ain't gonna have nowhere to go. Get out of where? Where they gonna send me? Georgia? South Carolina? Y'all do know that a lot of us literally still to this day own land in this country?
Black Americans are not immigrants. We all understand that, right? We were here before America became America. My ancestors were here. I'm like 13 generations American on both sides of my family. I am foundational to this country. My people fought in every single war. My blood is in this soil. Everything that makes America America is because of Black American people. We are America. Why then do immigrants keep trying to drag us into their story? We do not have an immigrant story. We have an American story.
Family, what we're really witnessing right now is fear speaking louder than facts. As deportations increase and even immigration enforcement tightens, panic spreads fast and even panic looks for somewhere to really land on. But instead of confronting the systems and even policies that created this situation, family, some immigrants are turning sideways and even projecting that fear onto Black Americans, warning them that they are next. But that warning reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of American history. Now, Black Americans are not guests in this country. They were not sponsors, they were not invited or even processed through immigration systems. They were brought here through enslavement, stripped of identity, labor, and even lineage, and then they were denied full citizenship long after emancipation. That history matters because deportation is a legal process tied to immigration status, not just race. Now, when people say they are coming for Black Americans next, what they're really revealing is how little they understand about who Black Americans are, especially in this country. Now, Black Americans are citizens by birth, protected at least on paper by constitutional law, not immigration loopholes. And so, family, the shock comes when immigrants realize that Black Americans are not scrambling for papers, nor calling lawyers, not panicking about status. And so that calm isn't ignorance, family, it's historical awareness. Black Americans have lived through centuries of exclusion, surveillance, and even state violence. And so ICE raids didn't introduce fear to Black communities. America did that long ago. So when immigrants expect Black Americans to panic alongside them and don't see it, it disrupts the narrative. And so this moment is uncomfortable because it forces a reckoning. It exposes how often Black Americans are lumped into minority conversations without even distinction, erased into a generic category that ignores lineage, ignores citizenship, and even generational roots. And so it also reveals a deeper issue, family, how proximity to whiteness and acceptance can sometimes convince people that they are safer than they are as long as someone else is positioned beneath them. And so now that enforcement has expanded and exemptions are shrinking, that illusion is really cracking. And so the warning to Black Americans was never about protection, family. It was about fear-seeking company. But Black Americans aren't shocked by America being America. They've studied it, they've survived it, and even adapted to it. And so the real shock is happening elsewhere, among those realizing too late that citizenship, history, and even belonging are not interchangeable. And so that solidarity should have been built long before fear arrived at their door.